What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Weekly Debrief presented by Black Ambition Media. I'm Cayman here with Dom and Xavier. Every week, we're bringing you thoughtful conversations on the stories shaping our communities, our culture, and our world. From politics and current events to sports, music, business, and everything in between, this is a space where we don't just react to the headlines, we break them down, ask tough questions, and have real conversations. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button to Black Ambition Media, and turn them post notifications on so you never miss an episode. We also want to hear from you, so drop your thoughts in the comments. We read them, we appreciate them, and they help shape future conversations. Damn, I messed up on that last part. I have my radio voice on and everything, but I'm gonna get it, people. Dom, Xavier, how you guys doing today?
It's what's today? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday.
It's hump day. It's hump day, and we're almost there to Friday. So
all right.
I feel you. I sweated my edges out, but they back in. You know, I'm ready to pod, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on in the world. Who wants to start with their topics today?
I started last week, so somebody else can go this week.
Mine's pretty light. I can take it away.
Okay, let's do it. Xavier, what you got for us today?
So, I want to talk about AI music. There has been a trend going around recently where artists are abandoning the original sound that they gained their notoriety off of and pivoting towards a new genre and a new sound altogether. It has led many people like myself and Cayman and Dob on this podcast to believe they are in fact using AI music, even though they are vehemently. These niggas they for real think, and they're telling us with their whole heart and soul, I didn't use AI. I learned how to sing overnight randomly and changed the pitch of my voice to sound like I was on the Beatles. I'm Paul McCartney all of a sudden. Former Shoreline Mafia member or current Shoreline Mafia member Fenix Flexin dropped a summer banger titled Rubbers. Honestly, all in all, I believe it is a really good song. I enjoy it. But there's no way in God green earth you could tell me that is anything other than artificial intelligence. Especially when you have listened to this man's music over the year. I mean, he dropped music in 2025. Just go look at last year. That ain't the same dude. He went on interview after interview telling people, I did not use AI for this project. I did not use AI for this project. Ask me again. I didn't do it. Recently, he has also came out and said, guess what? I, in fact, did use AI for this project, but not everything. Not everything. So my question is there an appropriate use? Or is there a certain level of AI that is allowable or justifiable when it comes to making music? Or should we expect these artists to not indulge in artificial intelligence? Because let me add a little bit more. Let me add a letter of the piece to it, because Tyga and Fenix Flexin. Tyga released an entire album called Stargate, Starboy, Starface, which is also believed to be predominantly AI. They have gone on record to say, what is the difference between AI and autotune? Is there a difference between using AI and using autotune? Was T-Pain the inception of this all?
I'd say there was a difference.
I think there's a difference as well.
Auto-tune is you like automatically tuning your voice, and that's where that pitch change comes in. But you can always tell it's T-Pain. I mean, depending on like how much processing is done, like you can tell who the actual artist is, and normally it's done with their voice when you're using auto-tune. AI is a complete automation of artificial intelligence. Like it's like not anybody. So there is a difference.
And even with
what do you
that,
think about what do you think about the whole thing though, Dom?
Yeah, what do you think? Is there a certain level of AI that you're not mad at someone using?
Is Rubbers that song Bank Bros on the Table? That's that song?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's AI?
I'm sad you didn't know.
I'm sad to find that out. I think it's cool. First of all, I never caught on because I never listened to the artist, so I always just thought it was a cool song. I like it. I don't know. I mean, AI is here to stay. I mean, I don't know if there is a more ethical way for it to be used. Like, I mean, it's kind of here. It's kind of in society. It's well integrated. So I don't really think it's going anywhere. And maybe there could be more constraints put on it. Sure, but I'm a user of AI, to be honest, and I like it. Without, I do want to acknowledge that it is harmful. It is harmful. It can be very harmful, but as with any new technology, give it time, and reform will come, and I'm sure it'll come under some kind of federal oversight.
Do you think there's a difference between a ghostwriter and having AI write your lyrics?
Is there a difference? Yes, there's a difference. Same thing. One person is actually writing lyrics just without credit. AI is writing your lyrics, and I don't think it gives a damn whether you gives it credit or not.
Yeah, like auto-tune is different because you're still creating something. You're just using a different sound at the end of the day. Like ghostwriting, co-writing, whatever, it's all different because there's still creatives and humans in mind making organically a sound that somebody has never heard before. Like I'm thinking about Rod Temperton, Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson, like cooking up Thriller. Like those are human beings that are formulating this massive iconic thing. Now, when we think about AI in music, I just think not a lot of people know exactly what's going on. And artists, yes, are trying to use this as their advantage. As you had mentioned, Tyga, a rapper, Fenix Flexin, people that we have heard, like Tyga got certified hits in the culture. We ain't heard Tyga's name in a minute. How can I revive this music thing? Okay, COVID, but COVID was 6 years ago, sir. How do we revive this music thing in a new way? AI is a tool now, and I think number one, I don't think people know how to truly feel about it. Number one, and number two, I think some of these artists tried to get it off, as you were mentioning with Fenix Flexin. Until he started actually performing his record, people could tell this was definitely AI. Like people who didn't know him, like Dom, or who didn't listen to a previous record from him, would be like, I don't know this artist, it's probably him. So that's when he could try to get the lie off. But when we saw you on that Summer Jam stage, I believe, where he performed, and people was looking like, nah, bruh, this ain't you. You had to come out and say it's AI. Tyga had to come out and say it's AI. So I think at first they tried to make it seem like it was really them. Now people are catching on to it. Honestly, when Timbaland signed the AI artist, I was angry at him for being this legendary producer who has made like hits and classics in our culture organically, and he's jumping on this wave. I just don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how people feel about it in general, but it's a changing of the guard. The world is different. I think this whole podcast episode will be talking about how the world is different in so many capacities, and we have to start thinking about things that we just never thought we would have to think about. AI and music is one of those.
I mean, I just like to say we look at. I personally look at Timbaland as a musical producing genius. You know, he gave us Aaliyah. He's worked with Missy. I mean, he has his own hits. Pharrell.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know, so we always say that we shouldn't look at celebrities for like politics and stuff like that, but we should look at them for what they are good at in their field. Timbaland would definitely be music, and I think he probably sees, it's not like we doubt his capabilities to produce a song or find an artist. So I think he sees, again, just where technology and music itself is heading. That's where it's going. So, and I don't even want to say he's really jumping on the bandwagon. Like he's really on the forefront of AI music in a lot of places, especially with Suno. I think that's kind of his thing. But yeah, I think he sees where it's going, and he's just trying to be maybe a pioneer of AI being a part of mainstream music.
I think we need to, you know how they always say we need to take the money out of politics? I think we need to take the money out of rap. Take the money out of music, because music at its purest, niggas were broke. As soon as money and millions of dollars started being placed upon rap and entertainment, it is just a money grab, a way for people to make a quick buck. And I feel like AI music is just pushing that narrative even further, because now I don't have to pay somebody to make the beat. I don't have to pay somebody to write the song. I don't have to pay somebody to perform the song. I can do all of those things at myself and center all of that money to my own pockets without having to shovel out and pay artists what they're worth. It's just making music lazier than it has been for the last 10 years are already on its own. I don't understand how we think that music is going to progress in any positive way when we are just listening to chat GPT bots. Like, that's not creative. We're just recycling material that we've already heard over and over and over again. And a large majority of the conversations that we have around these big mainstream artists like a Drake is, I've heard that song from you 10 years ago. We're never going to break that cycle now that we have AI in the mix, because it is just going to use references from songs from 10 years ago to reincorporate a new sound. I saw this video. If you go and you just type in, hey, I want a R&B pop sound from the 80s mimicking this style, it's just going to give you a Prince song in a Prince tone. They're telling us straight to your face, we're just stealing your material. And I feel like it's not going to do anything but harm Black people in general.
AI is
Because the
just
same way we talk
replicating.
about samples, I saw Lizzo broke it down beautifully. Sampling was never a problem until Black people started doing it. White people have been stealing music and sounds from Black people ever since they had ever. They just been doing it forever.
in the history of music ever.
in the history of music, as soon as a nigga picked up a banjo, there was a white guy in the background like, I'm gonna stash that shit. And they weren't just taking a couple lyrics. They weren't just taking a riff. They were taking the entire song and pushing it off as their own, just like Elvis Presley did with Hound Dog. Everybody
Yeah,
knows
boy,
that as an
Elvis, I was
Elvis
about to
Presley
say it.
song. And that's not even
Yeah.
Elvis Presley's song. But as soon as Black people in hip hop started to go and take samples from white music and flipping that into creating hip hop, now all of a sudden we have all these sampling laws. I don't understand why we wouldn't expect that same type of. I don't understand why we wouldn't expect that to come from AI in the future as well. And when we can look at this music and just see that they are just stealing from our Black architects from early on.
I would agree. Go ahead and close this out, Dom.
As a follower of some of that stuff, well, it's kind of Xavier may want to respond, but just as a follower of some of that, like of where like music has kind of gone, and I'm not, of course we all are. I don't think AI is like doing anything that music doesn't already do, which is like you said, referencing something older and then incorporating it and making it into something new. That's what artists do. Artists use samples. Artists use references. Artists use I forgot whatever they call it. Oh, interpolations. That's what they do with songs. It's literally the same thing AI does. Using again AI myself, you can change the amount or percentage of how much you're using of an already completed work or anything like that, or how much you want to reference. So I mean, you can mix and change and play with it. And again, I don't think it's really doing anything that people don't do. It's just another automatic thing. And the fact that it's good at it, I don't think it's harmful. I mean, if anything, it gives more people an opportunity to make music. The same way SoundCloud gave people a chance to put their music out there without record execs behind them. AI is doing that, giving people who may have a good ear, like myself, may get a chance out there to be able to put music out there that they like, and maybe people will start listening to more subgenres of music and more weirder sounds and stuff like that. So, you know, it opens all kinds of doors.
I feel like it kind of does the opposite. I feel like it closes all of the major doors. I feel like this is just going to lead to a situation where we have 5 faces or 5 figureheads, and that is just going to be the face of music. They're not going to go out there and look for all these different SoundCloud rappers to contribute to music. They're going to use the same 5 people to push 50 different sounds and 50 different beats and 50 different narratives, and they only got to pay 5 people the entire time. It's just going to be a giant conglomerate of all these music labels pushing one artist. Music is gonna die.
I definitely could see both sides of the coin and of the argument. I think in some cases it is very necessary. Like I'm thinking about Beanie Siegel, who lost his voice and now is using AI assistants in order to help him rap and do the thing that he loves. Now, people will take advantage of it. We'll see what the music business does with it, which is usually taking advantage of some shit and going down the road Xavier's talking about. So we'll see. What's your next topic, Xavier?
My next topic I wanted to talk about, was that Usher? I don't know. Recently there was a discrepancy of whether or not Usher had a stunt double at his one of his latest concerts. I did see a couple of the pictures, I'm not gonna lie. That did not look like Usher. And this is coming off of just a week or so after Lil Wayne had the BBL abs at his concert performance. Like, was those BBL
What?
abs, or was that a Lil Wayne stunt double? Things are just starting to look a little peculiar, and with the addition of all this AI stuff, you never really know what to expect anymore. But my main question is, are we mad at Usher if he did have a stunt double come out and give him a 15-minute break?
Let me tell you something. I am going to go see the Chris Brown and Usher show August 28th in San Francisco, I believe.
Is Chris Brown going to be there still?
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought he got into some mess, and
Oh, yeah.
I heard, but he's been performing. I just saw him dry humping a girl on the concert stage on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they say it's getting too crazy.
He's
but
getting a little raunchy.
I will be there to see this. Let me tell you something.
You gonna be there on stage?
Oh no. Yeah, chill.
You want the cherry that bad? Okay, you want the cherry.
Not the cherry.
Want the cherry. You want the cherry. He said,
What you want? What you want? You want to vote?
Yo, Usher better be performing the whole damn time. I don't want to see no nigga with glasses that don't look like him, even if it's a damn one song break. I paid money for this. I want to see y'all asses on tour. Don't try to cheat the system. I know Chris Brown out there going crazy right now, performing way longer than Usher is. Well, he is younger. And, you know,
he got legal fees.
He got legal fees to pay.
He got bills.
He got bills. I bet not see no damn doppelganger Usher on the damn stage.
Can Usher give you the Vegas experience, Cayman, and come see your girl in front of you?
See, now y'all.
It's Usher.
No, it is Usher. Too much crazy stuff happening on that tour right now. There's too much crazy stuff. They in the headlines every city.
What that got to do with Usher coming to see your girl?
Nah. I'm not opening myself up to none of that. I don't want nothing peculiar to happen where it's a social media topic even for 3 hours. Nah,
Usher Cayman wants you to sing to him. That's
no. I'm just going to enjoy the show, man. 2 legends on tour together. Before somebody end up in jail.
All right, but did y'all see the Lil Wayne pictures? What's going on with that?
I did not. I missed that.
I did see the Lil Wayne pictures. I think that the photo that was taken, somebody must have AI'd that. But I did see him with the BBL abs. Maybe he's in the gym. Maybe Wayne is in the gym.
Lil Wayne ain't never been that buff.
I gotta see.
He wasn't that buff when he was 18.
When he was in his prime.
Let me see the pictures. I'll give you an assessment.
That is a saying. That is not a Lil Wayne. That is a Dragon Ball Z character.
I have to go find. I have to see like an HD version, because I mean, it's possible Lil Wayne is skinny, so like if he worked out for a little bit, he would look
at the face,
muscles
brother.
Would look.
That is not Lil Wayne. Exactly.
He looked like a toy soldier. He looked like a toy
Exactly. That's
soldier.
an action figure.
That's Lil Pump in
That one movie,
blackface.
that one
That
Disney
did look
movie
like
that
Little
came out
Pump
in the
in
90s.
blackface.
That's Lil Pump in blackface. Get that
I'm
out of
hecka
here.
weak.
Oh my God. Who's that?
That ain't Lil Wayne.
Wait,
I'll tell you what.
check the dreads. Check the dreads. Were they
He had a
You know,
headband
Lil-
on, so I couldn't
Lil
really
Wayne-
tell if they were falling apart or not.
if he has more than 4, that's not Lil Wayne.
That's what I'm
Yo,
saying. He
y'all-
got the little
y'all gotta
headband
chill.
on. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if he had the Stevie Wonder going on or not.
Y'all
If he has
know
more
Lil
than
Wayne
4
got that-
dreads,
got
if
that
he has more than
Stevie.
4 dreads, if he has
Y'all
more than
gotta
4
chill.
dreads, that's not Wayne. That's not Weezy F.
He don't
y'all
even
gotta
got
chill.
he don't even got the lean belly. That ain't Wayne.
No, that's he had the kid boo belly.
Matter of fact, for scratch the abs, scratch the locks, he looks healthy. That is not Lil Wayne. Every time I seen Wayne in the last 5 years, he looks like he's dying.
Like he going
That's
through.
not Wayne.
Hey,
He talks
yo,
like,
chill. Yo, chill.
bro.
You're not wrong.
Are we gonna sit here
You're
and
not
act like Lil Wayne don't?
I say going through. But we know he is sick though, right? We know he's sick.
He's
He
been
ain't
sick.
y'all. Come on,
he
man.
has a stroke every year.
Come on,
I ain't
man.
say that now.
Read the
every year is
articles.
crazy.
Lil Wayne been going through it every year for the last 15,
He be looking
20
like
years.
he be going. Yeah.
You're telling me all of a sudden
yes.
he got a 12-pack?
Yeah,
So he needs a little extra prayer.
Something's
He needs a little
definitely
extra prayer.
something's definitely going on. Something is definitely going on. I'm gonna take the
down.
I'm gonna take the baton. True. I'm gonna take the baton. There's a couple things that I've seen in the news. So,
Oh Lord.
yeah, it's gonna get deep.
Oh
Trans players in the WNBA is one of the biggest topics in the world right now. Instead of people celebrating the WNBA for having record numbers of people to watch the product, they had record number of people watch the All-Star game this year. Their max contracts just expanded into the millions category for the first time in WNBA history. This league has been around for 30 years. We're finally starting to catch up with the popularity and acclaim that these women have deserved for a long time, for being WNBA players. Like, we're talking about the Cheryl Swoops of the world. We're talking about the Lisa Leslies of the world. We're talking about the Maya Moores of the world. And so many more that did not have the
Flowers.
eyeballs and the flowers that they deserved for being great women basketball players. I mean, Maya Moore to this day is still my favorite women's basketball player of all time. And the way that she played the game is something that I herald and cherish. We can even go back to Cheryl Miller, who back in the day, they said she needed to play with the men. Like, she was better than her damn brother, who was a Hall of Famer and played for the Indiana Pacers for a very, very long time. Like, these are the people and the foundation of this women's league. Now, can you please tell me or make me understand why trans players in the WNBA is this big of a topic right now? Nobody can tell me, because it's not a topic. There's no trans woman that's actively trying to play in the WNBA right now. So can we please explain why this is a topic? Well, let me tell you guys really quick why this is a topic, and let me give you guys some context. Sophie Cunningham, who plays for the Indiana Fever, came out recently with these comments that have sparked the whole controversy that we're talking about. Cunningham says, and I quote, "I got a lot of negative feedback about me hating trans, and I'm like, I never once said that. I think that I'm here to extend love, but I also think with that love is truth. Being honest, I want to protect young girls in a locker room or young girls in sports who shouldn't have to go against biological women." That quote has created this big storm for people of the likes, people like Enes Kanter and what's old boy's name that was scared of flying, so he
Exactly.
couldn't be Royce. What is it, Royce? Yeah,
Royce
yeah. What's
something.
his
I just know
name, bro?
he played for the Kings.
Oh,
Yeah, but he never played.
Royce
Royce White.
Royce White.
Royce White, Mr. Wannabe White, Mr. MAGA, Mr. Running for Office, now all of a sudden wants to jump on a wave and get all these conservatives on his backside. But let me will it back real quick. The reason why this is a topic is because of Donald Trump and the MAGA movement. They do things like this, like telling y'all that immigrants are taking all your jobs when and they got all this crime when immigrants are a fraction of, not even a fraction, a little motherfucking ant that you see on the ground of the whole totality of what crime is in America right now. But
less than 1%.
Less than 1%. But I'm gonna harp on that point. There's nobody actively trying to play in the WNBA right now. Why are we having this conversation? Now, before I give it to you guys, and I want to hear you guys' opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a trans expert. I don't know much about that topic. Now, I can read up on some things. I can do some research. There's not just a nigga, these stupid people like Enes, Kanter, and Royce wannabe white who can't even who couldn't even play because he's scared. He got anxiety and couldn't even be on a damn plane to fly. And Enes Kanter, you bum, who tried to go at LeBron, and I don't know what was up with you. I don't even know what's going on with you. You lost your mind a long freaking time ago. But these two idiots who say, I'm declaring for the draft for the WNBA. Do you understand when trans were actually allowed to play in college and in some professional ranks, for years, the level of shots and hormone reduction injections they had to take and the long path that was taken in order to even play in women's sports, or vice versa? Do you understand there's no advantage in a certain way according to some science tests? Now, again, I am not an expert on it, nor am I a scientist, but I understand that MAGA a lot does not rely on research. They rely on emotion, and we're talking about a topic that does not even freaking matter at this point. But going back to Sophie Cunningham, I don't know if you're MAGA. I don't know if you meant this to trigger the MAGA movement. All I know is you were a ring girl for Conor McGregor. That's what I do know. You did walk him out in his last fight. And if you want to go into the history of Conor McGregor when we're talking about protecting young girls, is that really your plan? Like, let's really get into it with these white people that want to act like, let me calm down. These white people that want to act like their true message is from God and they love the Bible and they want to just protect the children and all this, but yet and still all your messages are wrapped with hate for people that are not like you. And that's the problem. I don't know if you're MAGA, but you're sure damn acting like it. And we have started this conversation with idiots like Enes Kanter, Royce White, who just want to get the conservative people on their side. And y'all just playing a nasty game for me. Again, I am not an expert. But as of right now, August 12th, 2026, there is no active person trying to play in the WNBA that is trans. So why are we spending the time when Olivia Miles is killing her rookie season, when Caitlin Clark is killing and the Fever are actually winning games, and we're going to have a great playoffs with the likes of Asia Wilson and what Paige Beckers is doing and all these wonderful people in the WNBA. This is what we choose to focus on because we can't take the emotion out of things as a country, and that's why he's our president. Sorry for taking so long, but I had to get all that out.
I completely agree with you. There's not too much I really need to add to that. But we know MAGA's favorite topic to exploit is a topic that's not even a topic. Like you mentioned, they love harping on immigrants taking your job when That is not the case. They love talking about immigrants bringing all these drugs over the border when we all know that it comes from legal checkpoints by Americans. They love to talk about trans women, trans men trying to take over and dominate sports when trans people as a whole make up less than 0.10% of the population.
Of the population.
There's an easy way to fix this in my eye. And the way to fix this is the way to fix this, in my opinion, is to just let a trans man, that's a woman that turned into a dude.
A trans
woman that turned into it, yes.
Is a
a
female
woman
to
that
male.
yes, female
So
to
let
male.
let the trans man play in the NBA. Or did I say that right?
Yeah, you
now
did.
I'm sounding like I'm not an ally. I'm
It's
an
a
ally.
trans
Sorry,
man.
I'm sorry.
It's a trans man.
It's a
A
trans
trans man is a woman who
female to male.
Okay, so let the trans man play in the WNBA. Let the trans woman play in the NBA. If you're so focused on their biological set when they were born, if you really cared about that, then you would just let the trans women play in the NBA and you would let the trans men play in the WNBA. But that is not their point. They don't want them to exist, period. There isn't enough
Right.
trans athletes to
guess
start
what?
their own
Guess
league.
what? Guess what, Dom, before you go, real quick. Number one, I was skeptical of it. Just hearing it, when especially this came out maybe 3 or 4 years ago, your first immediate thought, and I'm going to be transparent and honest, your first immediate thought is like, oh no, like they shouldn't. Number one, that has been decided. They've already, Donald Trump has already did what he has done in order to make sure, and this has been decided is all I'm saying. This topic has been decided. People have thought that they shouldn't play in sports. Okay. It took me a quick Google search and some research to understand the level of the testing, the injections that they have to take, and certain things that can take this, what we can deem advantage away from these people.
It's
so
like 4 years of therapy.
Yes. So I'm just, I don't get why we can't just use our brains as people.
Because you said it already. They don't operate based off logic. They operate based off of emotion. There is no trans athlete in the WNBA. There aren't any trans athletes declaring the draft. But there are 2 straight up niggas who have decided, oh, your rules don't specifically say I have to be a woman. So if you're all about this equality and equity that you claim to be about, then you will let me play. And if not, my lawyers have reviewed all of your rules and guidelines, and we are ready to take you to court. That's not a point you're trying to make. You're just being a dick.
Just to mock a certain group of people. Crazy.
Just to mock a certain group of people who are less than 1% of the population who are also not actively trying to play in the league. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's not like Enes Kanter and Royce want to be white are like, you know what? I'm trying to prove to you that a biological man shouldn't play in the WNBA, so let them come play in the NBA. That's not what he's trying to say, because that is not what they want. We saw and we see how they treat gay athletes. Why all of a sudden we think that they come out with a full bust down, they're going to treat them any differently than they were treating these gay athletes who refused to come out during their career. It's not about making things equitable. It is just about putting people down and using them as a way to exploit your next career change. It's nasty. But Royce White, he took it to another step. That man said, I am transgender for the purposes
Royce wanna be
of
white.
basketball, and started appearing in full suits with a wig. He wore a shirt that says, pay women what they're worth. He is literally just mocking y'all. I don't get it.
That's crazy.
And if they do declare, when they do declare, I really do believe somebody is going to draft it. I don't think we're going to see a solidarity amongst the WNBA and where all these teams refuse to draft these 2 men. You don't think some of these owners are just going to use that as a reason to a straight path to an easy chip in their eyes.
They better not. I'll be on their ass until I die.
And you know how much you know how big their views is finna go up? Whether you're hate watching or whether you're supporting the movement, they're just thinking about the money at the end of the day, because it's not the players who are going to decide who they draft. It's the bigger entities.
And Cashola.
Dom, what you got on this?
I don't know too much about it, child. It's crazy.
I do have a quote. I do have a quote from Van Lathan. He was responding to the transphobic remarks from Sophie Cunningham, and briefly he says, if you cannot give trans people with visibility, humanity, and acceptance, could you at least gift them with your silence? Can you at least shut up about it?
That's it. Just what Dom did right there. Salute, respect, shut the up if you don't got no knowledge of what you're talking about, and move on. That's it. Why can't people do that? Why? Anyway.
Because they got all their emotions tied up in something that you don't even... Why are your emotions in that? It's not a real thing.
It's not logic. I would love to know why people are wired that way. Like you just see something, you gotta poke it. Like it's not.
And the people that are complaining acting like they about to go play in the league.
You know what's crazy though? That's not even
a woman
thing,
or a dude. Either way, they finna clap your ass. So what are we talking about?
I think it's something. I think it's really something deeper, because meanwhile, those same people are either dressing up as women themselves, or they're trying to fuck those very same trans women or trans men.
Facts.
So it's just speaking realness. Normally it's conservative Christian men that are the closeted freakos. So
and that's how you know. And that's how you know it's really just some bull, because all of a sudden we got men acting like they really care about women and what they got going on. Y'all don't care about no WNBA, let alone what women got going on.
Women will tell you to mind your fucking business. They don't mind. And if women were speaking out against it, that might be a different story. But women don't mind. Women understand. So again, why don't you mind your fucking business? You don't watch the WNBA.
It all goes into, as you said, as what Xavier said, you do not want this group of people to exist. Therefore, we do antics like this. We have conversations like this. Trans people, for the community that they have, and for the amount of people they have in the population, which is not that much, they're not going nowhere. Just shut the freak up and move on. Like, what are we doing in major news? That's right. My thing. Like, what are we doing right now?
We've seen
Sophie Cunningham. I'm looking at you.
Lack of minded business.
We've seen trans athletes at the collegiate and the amateur level, but what we rarely hear about them is them being a dominating force in that field. Yeah, some of them might be
zero medals, I believe.
They ain't the big dogs.
Zero.
They ain't the big dogs. You mad at a nigga that came in 5th place? Because, if it wasn't for him, I would have came in 4th. Dog, you're just trash.
Bro. Hey, I care about my groceries and my gas more than I care about this. But that's anyway. I don't know why
there's not wars going on.
Trying to
wars going on. Hey,
we got
wars
flock cameras being installed in SAC. We got wars
what's going on.
AI. Tyga dropping a trash album.
Number one death of children. Number one cause of death of children in the United States of America is what? Gun violence. And we're worried about who?
Exactly.
Trans people.
Thank you.
You need to do what? Mind your fucking business. It's very crazy.
Amen. All right. This is my next topic. Guys, this just happened today. This is some breaking news in sports. Xavier, we had talked about this. I think Dom was there as well. We talked about the Lakers selling for a record number $10 billion last year to Mark Walter, who also owns the Dodgers. It was just announced today that the Los Angeles Lakers are being sold for a record-breaking price of $12 billion to American businessman Josh Kushner and Bob Iger, former CEO of Disney. The franchise that was once held by Jerry Buss since 1979, who grew the Lakers into this big entity, was then owned by the Buss family. Jeannie Buss has been the governor of the Lakers for quite a while right now. The family, without I don't think everybody's permission, was sold last year. Now it was sold again. I have my Los Angeles Lakers hat on right now. As both of you guys know, I'm a big Lakers fan. Kobe Bryant was my favorite player growing up. And it's just weird times to see the Lakers, who have been ran like a mom and pop shop. Jerry Buss, who died in, I believe, 2011. And ever since he died, it's kind of not been the same. That was an owner who cared about championships, cared about winning, and the Lakers' legacy and brass was built off of who Jerry Buss was as an owner, all the way from drafting Magic Johnson, giving him a contract that nobody has seen, 25 years, $25 million, which in 1980 something was a crazy contract. The Laker girls and giving the basketball scene a more Showtime feel and made it an event, and all these celebrities coming courtside to the Western Forum, and then seeing Kobe and Shaq come in and win championships, and then Kobe by himself win championships. It feels weird for the Lakers to be sold twice in 2 years. I don't know what's going on. It's just very, very weird. But I want to ask Xavier this. Do you now agree with your dad that the Lakers never should have been sold? Because they just sold for $10 billion. 1 year later, they sold for $12 billion. What if the family just held on to this? I believe you were on the side of selling. Your dad was on the side of not selling. Legacy, family, and all this. What do you think of all this that just transpired?
I mean, I guess we can all agree that Jeannie Buss was the downfall of her family's legacy, but she in her eyes
come on.
she in her eyes was trying to at least take a slice of that pie back to her family. I still
How you
am on
gonna
the
say she was
side.
the downfall though? Hold on. How you gonna say she was the downfall of the Lakers?
I mean, if it wasn't for her, LeBron probably would have just went back there.
If it also wasn't for her, we probably wouldn't have got another championship. Let me give you some context. Let's go back to 2013. Jim Buss, her brother, was running the damn team, president of basketball operations, and wasn't doing nothing, running the franchise into the ground. She fired that nigga, hired Magic Johnson, Rob Pelinka, and LeBron James came like 2 years after, and they won a championship. So without her, that wouldn't have happened.
I mean, a broke clock is right twice a day, and I'm still on the side of history of she should have fired her brother, and I don't believe she had to inform not one sibling of her selling the company, especially when they've all had a hand at it and did significantly worse than she did. But she is ultimately the person that sold the company away from their family, took that legacy away from their family. So she is still going to be the downfall of that company in her family's eye.
You're right.
And there are still some areas where she could have put her ego to the side for the betterment of the company. But, I mean, I don't understand why they would sell for more this time. Do they think Austin Reeves and Luka are the future for real? I know Luka possibly, but I don't really
Luka 1000%.
I don't see the Lakers being a dominating force in the league 5-6 years from now. So I don't understand, outside of it just being LA and trying to incorporate maybe a Walt Lakers world or something like that. I don't understand why the Lakers would sell for $2 billion more this year. In my eyes, is it because the Clippers are just doing that bad?
Nah, it's number one, it's inflation. Things are going to go up. These franchises were probably $2-3 billion 10 years ago. The price did go up. $2 billion is very significant for something to go up in 1 year. I mean, he bought it at the end of the year last year, so I understand that. But these people probably got it. Josh Kushner and Bob Iger, they got it. you need to get that off your hands, Mark, which he's in some other federal stuff and investigations. I don't know too specifically about what he's really involved in with that. He is the owner of the Dodgers. I'm just This is the most storied franchise in the NBA. I can understand why it went up $2 billion. No matter what the roster looks like now, it's kind of like the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL. The Cowboys ain't won since we've been born, Xavier, but they are still the highest and most notable and most expensive franchise worth the most money in the NFL. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're winning and you got the winning tip. I mean, they got Dak Prescott at quarterback right now, and he may be top 10, but he ain't one of the most prestigious people. So based on now, I do disagree with you that the Lakers won't be contenders in the next 5 years, regardless if LeBron left. We still do have Luka Doncic, who is an all NBA player every time he steps on the floor. I think the Lakers will be just fine this season. My only skepticism now as a Lakers fan, I've known the background, and the Butts family, like you said, has not did the best. Even Jeannie, who has won a championship, may have been able to make different moves if you had different people around you. There was talks that Kurt Rambis and Linda Rambis, a former player for the Lakers, who are Jeannie's best friend, was running the franchise and making basketball decisions and doing stuff and being involved when they weren't supposed to be. So yes, Jeannie does have some culpability and some fault in a lot of things. I just don't have the level of comfort as a fan knowing that my team is being passed around like this. Like, are we going to be that prestigious franchise anymore that Jerry Buss built? Like, that was that owner and how he always wanted to get the star players and the match play. Like, I don't know how Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, who his brother is married to a Trump and all, like, what is going on, yo? I don't like none of this. What is going on? How is Trump connected to my team now? What's going on?
It explains the look of your new lineup.
It was a yo, chill. Yo, chill. What's going on? It just doesn't seem right. Like, I'm not sleeping in my bed because I am a diehard Laker. I'm not sleeping in my bed the same way. I'm going to bed kind of like unsure of what the future holds as far as the owner of my team goes. That is important to your success, how the owner of the team operates. I'm just like, this is a sticky situation, and I think and I hope more information is coming out on this, because you don't just sell the franchise. You don't just sell the franchise after you just acquired it a year later. That's freaking weird. There's got to be something rich billionaire stuff going on that we don't know about. It's very weird.
Well, I've heard. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mark Cuban.
Yes.
The Mavs guy.
Yes.
I've heard him speak briefly on the fact that being a NBA owner is not a profitable business, or in the sense of that you are always in the decline financially. There's a lot of money these owners will have to continuously fork out for these players. In my eyes, I can only think of maybe selling this team to help with some legal issues. But as a fan, do you feel comfortable knowing that your new owners will have enough money to possibly go after bigger players?
I mean, yeah, but how the NBA works, it's not like baseball, which was like, oh, Mark Walters coming in and he's bringing his brass and stuff. Like, it's not the same. You got the salary cap, you got the second apron that no team wants to go over because you get taxed and you got to pay way significantly more, based on the last collective bargaining agreement. And I don't want to get too jargon on this. Is the Weekly Debrief. Catch me on another sports podcast where I can break all this stuff down and all that stuff, all that good stuff. But anyway, you got the CBA that the players just signed with the NBA that has these second and third aprons that it hinders teams to be in those positions. So you always have to be under a certain salary. So it makes it harder for you to gain and garner these players and do what the Lakers have been doing for so long. With that being said, it's just very concerning what's going on. Dom, what you got for us?
I don't know nothing about it, child.
What you got? What your topics? I know you ain't got nothing on this, but it's concerning.
I thought you was asking me about sports. I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, catch me on another sports podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Dom.
That's a nice plug. So from the world of nerddom, we finally have some. I don't know if you two have played any of the Hogwarts Legacy game that recently came out, but there is word of Hogwarts Legacy 2. This is a personal joy for me because I've been waiting on this announcement for a few years. So Warner Brothers has basically just quietly reconfirmed Hogwarts Legacy 2 in an earnings report. It's in its August shareholder letter. Warner Brothers said its gaming division is now focused on fewer, bigger games built around $4 billion franchises, and specifically said its upcoming pipeline includes the second installment of Hogwarts Legacy. So the second installment of Hogwarts Legacy 2 is officially in the pipeline. We still don't have a official title or story, but this isn't a rumor anymore, so we know it's coming. Did you two play the first one at all?
Nope.
Xbox fan for life.
Losers. I think it's on Xbox now and PC.
Oh, really?
But the first one,
I don't play anything.
Do yourself the favor. You're a Harry Potter fan, no?
Of course.
Okay, yeah. Do yourself the favor.
I just thought that was a PlayStation exclusive, like Spider-Man.
I think for a time
at one time,
I'm pretty sure it's on all consoles.
If I can get it on my Switch, I'll play for sure.
You might be able to.
I think it's on Switch too. I think it's on Switch also.
Is Spider-Man on Switch?
You might be able to.
Oh no.
That's not just PlayStation.
That's console exclusive. That's console exclusive. Yeah. No, but so if you've played the first Hogwarts Legacy, like myself, then you know that they really captured the atmosphere of Hogwarts. It's set in a different time period, set in like the 1800s. The spell casting, the fantasy, really just being a student all around, and having the freedom of exploring the grounds and the land itself. That was really fun. Some things I'm hoping the game improves on are actual classes, because we didn't get to really do that. More relationships with the characters, because you meet a lot of people in the first one, but you don't really get to, it's like a talk and go kind of thing. And then just like some morality consequences, like you can cast bad spells, but they don't really do anything besides scare the people around you, and then it's back to normal. So, they also mentioned in the letter, some other upcoming games, Batman, The Matrix, because that's, getting like some reboot with the movies, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. So, Warner Brothers is really, they have that merger with Paramount coming up. So they're looking to really expand some things, including the video game department. So I'm excited that Hogwarts Legacy 2 is one of those things.
I didn't really know you were a gamer like that.
Oh yeah, Dom's a gamer.
I wouldn't consider myself a gamer, but I play games.
As a gamer, how do you feel about the slow disappearance of physical media?
Well, that's a good question.
That's a whole nother
right.
It's nasty work to me.
I think that's very crazy. I think that's disgusting. They know exactly what they're doing, and I mean the fact that they know that people are upset about it. They've responded to the backlash already, and they're like, we know, but we don't care, essentially. And I mean, it kind of sucks that we can't really do anything. I mean, you can not buy games, you can not support PlayStation, but I mean, I doubt that's going to happen in mass enough for them to really put a dent in their pocket. So it's unfortunate, and I do hope that changes, because it's kind of terrible.
I agree.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's why you should buy physical media. That's why you should buy. That's why you should buy physical media, because you won't own anything.
Facts. What else you got for us, Dom?
So my second story, Lord, y'all know I had this caught me right before we got on. This is why I had to change my political Cayman. You got saved. Y'all know it was some news about the KOP, and I said, Lord,
what's going on?
Let me speak on it. They said Michael Jackson has been found alive. Just playing.
I was like, what the fuck going on? I knew it.
And
he was at his own funeral.
Cuba. He's at Cuba. He's in Cuba.
See, if you would have really watched the funeral, Joe Jackson was not sad. That man was talking
would've
about his new record
You would
label.
have seen the casket.
Michael is alive.
The casket wiggled a little bit.
Hey, Dom would have been on the first flight wherever they would have said. We wouldn't even have heard from Dom.
Y'all would have seen me on a live stream. I'm here on site. Michael Jackson is inside the building. No, but so a federal lawsuit brought by 4 members of the infamous Casio family. Cayman, you might know that name. A lawsuit brought by 4 members of the infamous Casio family against Michael Jackson estate has reportedly been tossed out of court. The Casios were a family that was extremely close to Michael for years and publicly described him as family as well. He met them through their father, Dominic, who worked at a New York hotel Michael often frequented. I think it was like the Palace, I forget. After the 4 siblings accused Michael of sexually abusing them as children and accused his companies and associates of enabling or concealing it. Now, the crazy thing about this, as with most, if not all, Michael Jackson accusers, they've known him, they were familiar with him. The Casios defended Michael publicly for years, even appearing on Oprah. I remember that. Even appearing on Oprah in 2010, denying inappropriate behavior. And Frank Casio, who is not one of the siblings, but he's not one of the plaintiffs, worked for Michael after high school and became his personal assistant, traveled with him internationally, and at one point was out and about in the media describing himself as either Michael's personal manager or his business advisor. So the Michael's estate said that this family, they've actually been dealing with this family for a while in a bit of a nasty shakedown situation. After leaving Neverland, I did not watch the documentary. Cayman, did you? Who watched that?
I never watched it. I used to just say stuff to troll you about it, but I never watched it.
Oh, no. I thought you watched it. I thought one of y'all watched it. Yeah. So after leaving Neverland, this same family, who, as you know, is 2 of the 4 siblings are a part of the Fake and Michael. They're the center of the Fake and Michael podcast, and that's a whole nother thing. But
great podcast.
So the siblings had come around after leaving Neverland, going to the estate, saying that they were going to reverse their statements and make damaging allegations of molestations towards Michael and the estate unless they were paid. So the estate paid it reluctantly, they say, and to protect Michael's children and his legacy. At this day and age, I don't know if it was the best move. Well, so what they did when they paid that agreement was that they didn't just pay an agreement and then they were just supposed to go away. They paid an agreement to buy their life rights to really, I guess, essentially keep them shut the fuck up, because Leaving Neverland was out and then they were going to have to deal with that also. As a fan, a watcher of these things, I don't know if that was the best move, because they always come back for more like they did. So this is the same family that the estate paid, and then they have just come back for more money. And this time, this got tossed out. This court case was about them being able to have an arbitrator, not whether Michael was guilty or innocent. But it was tossed out because they are supposed to have an arbitrator if they were going to go back and sue for more money. That's what this case was about. So the judge ultimately decided that they could not take this to trial, and it got thrown out because they have to have an arbitrator. So what they're probably going to do is go back and sue the estate again, but this time it'll have to go through court with an arbitrator, and then they'll try to get more money. It's very crazy. I feel so bad for Michael Jackson for surrounding himself with so many of these people, and unfortunately, you see everybody who's doing it. I'm sorry, they're not black. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen to Michael. I'm not saying that black people don't shake Michael down, but I'm just saying they're not black. And I see this happening a lot. And at this day and age, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, people know who Michael Jackson is. You can research those things yourself and ultimately decide if he's guilty or innocent for yourself. But I mean, this is just another example, really, ultimately, of a shakedown and of people who, while Michael was alive, defended him with blood, sweat, and tears. And now that he's gone and they need money themselves, Michael Jackson molested me. So I just think it's very crazy. But everybody can see through it. The judge saw through it, so the case has been tossed out. They will have to, if they decide to sue the estate again, go through an arbitrator, and it has to be done privately. They did it publicly so they could draw attention to the I mean, they did interviews and everything, but it wasn't really picked up.
Yeah, it's really just sad. It's something interesting that you said, Dom. The biopic, the Michael biopic starring Jafar Jackson, has done a record number. It's the highest selling biopic of all time. As expected, this is Michael Jackson. This is one of the greatest. I say it was Jesus and then Michael Jackson as far as the most famous people to ever walk this earth. I choose to believe, based on the knowledge that I know, that the Casio family are grifters, are people that are trying to capitalize the most off of the Jackson name. And when things didn't go their way, when they were found actually doing some dirty stuff, after Michael Jackson's death, have chosen to go this way, the way that many people have chosen when Michael was alive to go, after Michael helped them and invited them, and they've taken advantage of somebody who was so isolated based on his fame and based on who he was, that I don't feel like he could really decipher who was really in his corner with him. And hey, maybe, like you said, they defended Michael Jackson when he was alive. Maybe some of these people were really truly his friends, but the money is good on the other side. People have sold people out for less, in my estimation, especially when it's money involved. The what was the name of that podcast?
Faking Michael.
Faking Michael.
Yep.
And me learning about the Casio tracks and the fake Michael tracks that were on his first posthumous album. To hear that story are the things that make me believe that the Casio family are the grifters that they are. It is just sad, in my estimation, like you said, like you've mentioned, to kind of learn about a lot of this stuff that you the Moonwalkers, the Michael Jackson lovers and fans, have known and have researched for so long about some of these families. All this stuff is starting to come to light as new people find out about Michael. This is not new information for some of the diehard Michael Jackson fans that have followed the man for years and that loved and revered the man. But for some newer fans, that there's people that, number one, didn't know anything about Michael Jackson. Number two, maybe had some knowledge of Michael Jackson. And number three, just people in the culture like myself that are learning more and more about Michael Jackson, had some knowledge and basis about who he was, but are starting to learn about some of the people that he surrounded himself with and who the man personally was in his isolated state as this biggest artist in the world. Couldn't even go grocery shopping, and just loved the idea when they what was it, America's he did the Michael Jackson documentary, or whenever they cleared the store out and he was able to actually just shop, and there was people that he knew that were acting like they didn't know him just so he could have a shopping experience, like things like that people don't even think about. He didn't have those opportunities, and it's just sad that he surrounded himself by some people that, just in my estimation and in an opinion, are just grifters and trying to grift off the Jackson name. It's very sad.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't. I guess I'd say he lived with these people, so I'd say you really don't know somebody until you live with them, but I guess you don't know them until after you die, and hopefully they're still here to show their character. I mean, it's just very crazy.
Money talks.
But money does talk, and when you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars at a time, it's shouting. So, but again, I think Michael Jackson's character, and I think the overall mark that he's left behind on just people that he's touched personally, I think that speaks for itself. That speaks volumes. And I meant if you look at the amount of effort that went into the faking Michael, all that they've done to really, an actual Michael Jackson came out with fake tracks. The effort that they went through to do that is nothing for them to go on social media or on the news to just say Michael Jackson molested me. And I don't know if y'all saw that interview, and I really should have sent it to you before I even brought this up, but I saw this last minute. That interview that man did in Australia where he was like fake crying was the most cringiest, disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so obviously fake. And I was just like, my God, it must be like soul crushing to literally be a human and to be in this very peculiar once in a lifetime position and to just try to extend out and you don't know what's going to burn you. Like, you're like walking around in a room full of fucking stoves with a blindfold on. It's very crazy. It's very crazy. So, I really feel for Michael Jackson, but thank God that, he has the means and the, I guess, legacy to
Yeah, it's gonna
defend
always
against
that
it.
name go hold on. That name go
Yeah.
hold on regardless,
Yeah.
because that's who Michael Jackson was.
Yeah, so I think it again, Michael's name and his legacy stands for itself, so
For sure.
I think he's good.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Weekly Debrief presented by Black Ambition Media. I got Xavier here, Dom here, I'm Cayman. You guys enjoy your week. And we will see you guys next week. All right. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.